So now that we have a job up and running, the next step is, of course, to start interviewing candidates. And here we have one candidate, and a candidate, and they've been added to the phone interview step. The important thing in order to get full usage of the integration and extension is to make sure you do it via a Google Meet link. So you set up when setting up the interview to choose Google Meet as the video meeting tool, essentially. So in this case, we're going to copy the link and we are going to go into the meeting. And what you do is that you enter it and we pop up. And now we just choose the project and the candidate. This can also be pre-populated. It depends a little bit on your settings. But all you need to do is find a project that you've been assigned to, which interview it is, and the candidate. And then you start the interview. And you would do this like you normally would. And of course, if you press this button, we start transcribing the interview. And we have a whole article about how this integration works specifically. So now we're just going to do it very quickly. And we're just going to go in and answer these. You can add notes if you want to. Here we have some screening questions that we added. The salary. We can also write notes about that. And then you have the questions themselves. So these are the questions that you chose. And once again, you can write notes if you want. You don't have to, since we do record everything. But you can do the score. You can leave it for later. You can always go back and actually revisit this later from Greenhouse. Anyway, let's move on and complete the interview. And now you have two options. What you can do is you can either go straight to Greenhouse, go to the scorecard, or you can go to Asker and finalize the interview. So what you do is that you can go in here and you will be able to just look at everything again. You can look at your notes. You can add something that you want, whatever it could be. You're sort of doing it, and then you can complete the interview. Or you could go straight to the scorecard. And when we go into the scorecard, we're going to see this. So it pops up saying, hey, we have some evaluations for you. I think you want to download those. And then you press yes. And if we go to the specific scorecard, we have it here. So we have the salary that we added. We have the notes. We have everything that we added. And we also see the score. And we can actually help you with that as well. So if you open up the sidebar, you can actually see the score that we give from 0 to 100%. And you can show details. So you can look at exactly how the interview was scored and how that sort of ties in. And we actually give a recommendation about whether the candidate passed the interview or not. Of course, you can change that, but it's a recommendation. And from here, you can also go in and edit the interview. So if you do that, if you go in here again, and you do something. So let's say that they called and they wanted 2,600 in salary or whatever, or maybe that wasn't a 3, maybe that was a 4, and then you complete it, and then you're sent back to Greenhouse, and it will say, hey, we will have some updates for you. Don't you want to add that? And you say, of course. And now we can see that the salary was changed and the score was changed as well. So, and yeah, we can also see that by opening up, and we can see that the details have been changed, and we can go back and do this as many times as we want if we feel like there's something that we want to change or whatever it could be, like that. So that's the way to use the Greenhouse integration. And now, of course, you can submit the scorecard like this. And then, of course, if you were to go to the next step, you would just move the candidate, and you can do the next interview if you have many interviews planned.